Okay, hey everyone, you're just gonna have to bear with me here for a second. Ow, ow, okay, that doesn't go there. Ow, ow, okay. No, get up there. All right, here we go. Hey everybody, Tekking here, coming to you from my closet today. So I decided to make this video to just give you a little bit of insight at the manga that I'm currently reading. So unlike most people, I don't really read maybe a lot of manga at any given time. I only have maybe about 6 or 7 series that I read on a weekly basis. If you cut out the big 3 out of that, which I do, I'm still reading the Naruto guidance, so if you cut out Bleach and the Naruto and then One Piece, along with that, I guess you could also take out Toriko. There's probably only about 4 or 5 series that I read that's not serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump. But the first one I should probably bring up that I read on a monthly basis is Black Butler, and I just started reading that one. It was actually kind of funny. I like Black Butler. I like the series. It's just that it was like 100-something chapters, and they were like a monthly serial, so it's like 30, 40 pages per chapter. And I decided to just finally get caught up in reading it. I had a marketing class where it was every Saturday morning for 4 hours. I had this marketing class, and I spent like 2 weeks of that, so like 8 hours collectively, just reading Black Butler while I was in the middle of this class. And I still got like a 96 in the class. I still got like an A. So yeah, that's how I got caught up with Black Butler. So I'm currently reading that. Another one that I'm reading is Inuyashiki, or Inuyashiki, I think it's pronounced. And that's written by Hiroyo Oku, who is the mangaka of Gantz, or was the mangaka of Gantz. And so it's like a science fiction fix that I really like. It's about a family. It's about this older guy who has this family that just basically hates him. You know, Hiroyo Oku does like a really good job of describing the absolute abject dickishness of people in the world. Like, if you ever read Gantz or this new Inuyashiki manga, a lot of the stuff Hiroyo Oku portrays as like everybody except the main characters are like absolute dicks, like to everybody at all times. So that's a cool one. It's about this older guy and this teenager kid that gets crushed by an alien spacecraft, and then the aliens are like, oh shit, we need to rebuild them. We can make them stronger, better, because we have the technology. So they rebuild the old man and the teenage kid into like basically like they're androids essentially. They're no longer humans. Their human bodies have been completely incinerated. So they still have their memories, they still have their personalities, but they're basically androids. So then we have the older guy who's going around basically like a superhero. Like, he's like older, so he's really like, oh, I need to be truth and justice, and I need to save the world because I have this power, while the teenage kid is just like, shit, I can blow fucking shit up because I'm awesome, because I'm a teenager, fucking A. So that's how they act, and it's still a pretty new series. It's only about 30 chapters in, but I enjoy it. Another series that I read, and this is monthly as well, although it gets translated at random intervals. It is a monthly series, but the last chapter, like the last 2 chapters have been out in Japanese, but they haven't gotten around to translating them in English yet, is Monster Musume no Ichijo, Daily Life with a Monster Girl. And this series, I'm sure most of you are probably already aware of it. It's a harem, which you have to have at least one harem in your life. And this harem, the one I had before this was Sekirei, actually, but this one I like more. So it takes place in a world where basically every creature that you can think of from folklore or legend, like, exists in the current world in, like, modern-day Japan. Like, we have, like, mermaids and orcs and lamias, which are, like, half-snake people, and slimes and centaurs. Pretty much all these things exist. And there's basically this thing called the Cultural Exchange Program, where they're trying to get integrated into normal society. And then the main character, which I want to say is Kazuto Kimihito, and he basically ends up living in this house with 7, I think. It might be 7 now, with Lala being introduced. But yeah, so there's like 7 girls that live in this house, and they're all extra species, and it just basically goes crazy from there. Now, from the way I'm describing this, you might be thinking, oh shit, is this some kind of like bestiality porn or some shit? In fact, there was an article published in Otaku USA, which I do not read regularly, but whenever I might breeze through it if it's like on the rack at like the gas station or whatever. It described it as like a bestiality type deal, and I'm just thinking, no, I mean, we rarely ever go there. Like, there's tits in it. There's tits all over the place, but it's not like they ever go into great detail about like the, you know, like how the vagina works in like the in like the centaur's body or anything like that. They don't go into great detail. There's no sex scenes in it as of yet. I always love in most harems is that we have like one guy that's living in a house or is just around like a bunch of women that all basically just are in love with this one dude, but he never gets any. Like, a lot of harems are like that. Like, High School of the Dead is like that. Sekirei is like that. Monster Musume is like that. Like, this, like, the guy, I would blow my brains out of just, like, this would be sheer torture if I was living in a house with 7 girls that it just never happened. I'd be like, God damn it. But anyway, yeah, I like that one. That's getting an anime in July. Really pumped for that. Something else I read is a little bit more on the slice of life side is Domestic no Kanonjo, which is another series by a mangaka that I previously read, a previous work that they did, and that would be Sasuga K, who wrote GE Good Ending, which I've talked about on this channel a couple times back when it was still in serialization. That ended back in January 2013. But yeah, this new one, Domestic no Kanonjo, the plot is, alright, I'm going to give you just a play-by-play, and you can see where the wackiness ensues. So, we have a guy who is just at this high school, this normal high school kid. He goes out with his friends one day, and this girl just is in their group, like, she's not normally in their group, but he's like, hey, I have my friend named Ray, do you want to, she can come and, hang out with us and do karaoke or whatever Japanese school kids do. So, they all go out, and this random high school student and this girl just have sex. The girl just like, hey, I want to have sex with you. And she's like, oh my god, why? I'm like, oh, well, I just want to see what it's like. So the two have sex, and then it's just like, oh, okay, whatever, that was sex. And then it turns out that the high school boy's dad is getting married to the girl that he just met and had sex with, mother, and they also have another daughter who is the teacher of the high school boy, and he has a crush on that teacher. So that might get a little confusing of how to describe that, but you can see where the wackiness ensues. Oh no, I just had sex with you, and you're moving in with me as my stepsister. Oh, and also, my other stepsister is the teacher that I had the hots for. That's crazy. And, yeah, they go crazy from there. They both, I think he's had sex with both of them at this point, so yeah, whatever. I don't think he's had sex, well, he might have, I don't know. I have to go back and reread parts of that, but yeah, craziness. Aside from that, I do read Fairy Tail, but Fairy Tail's like completely scattershotted with me sometimes. I'll skip some weeks for Fairy Tail. Mostly for Fairy Tail, it's just like, I'm bored, and it's like, oh, the new Fairy Tail chapter's out, well, okay, I guess I'll kill 5 minutes reading Fairy Tail. I don't usually get pumped up for the next chapter, though. But aside from those series, I can't really think of anything else. I mean, I read other series, but they're all completed at this point. I might just go back and reread them, like Gantz. I love Gantz. And stuff like that, but I don't really read them on a weekly basis or monthly basis, so that's like the only ones that I do read. So I keep it simple. I don't keep like a lot of series I read at any given moments, but yeah, anyway, I just want to tell you guys, what I do, what I read. So yeah, this is Tekking101 from his closet, signing out.